Well, here we are again. Welcome back to Thoughts While Thinking. And you got to remember that these opinions are mine and mine alone. And we're talking about understanding the understandable. I'm trying to wrap my brain around what's going on, but I just can't understand how these people can reject such a beautiful and wonderful country and freedom that we had and substitute it for socialism and communism. I just can't really think about how that works. But my old head has got those big wheels spinning trying to figure that out. But so far, I just don't understand the understandable. I just keep on trying, but they say understanding is an art. Well, evidently I'm not an artist, so I'm having a little difficulty with understanding the understandable. And I've got a lot of knowledge, and I've got a lot of background, and I've got a lot of experience. So I'm still trying to figure out how people can have those opinions against free speech and freedom. And a wise man once said, "Be careful who you let on the ship, because some people will sink the ship just because they want to be captain." Well, I think we've got somebody sinking our ship. I'm thinking about that, and maybe that's understandable. But it's beginning to make sense like that to me. Maybe we're right, maybe we're wrong. And they've destroyed our jobs, and they wouldn't let us say goodbye to our people that died, and they kept us out of church, and they got our kids all messed up in their thinking, and they burn our salaries and jobs, and they protect the criminals, and they laughed at our pain as it was unfounded that we don't know what we're talking about. Well, I'm sure that they think that, because I sure don't know if that think they're don't know what they're talking about. Well, we'll tangle our tongue a little bit there, but we'll go on. And I can't understand why they'd go for a totalitarian government and give up free speech and free action. I just don't understand that, but that's what's going on, or that's what it looks like to me. It's going on. Maybe I'm in the twilight zone or something, but I think more like the opposing side is probably in the twilight zone. And I'm just sitting back and saying, "Oh, I just can't grab it. No, I don't. Try." And they're playing. They're just right on their playbook. They've made every one of those steps, and they're just about there. And if we don't do something about it and understand the ununderstandable, and uh, protect our liberties and our freedom and our liberties, we're going to lose it. We've got these inalienable rights, and none of us are exercising them. We're afraid to speak our mind because we get so criticized and demeaned and cast out. But I'm trying to understand why we're not standing up for our rights. And these pigs are jumping off the cliff. Says we've got to get those humans to quit thinking like pigs, because there we go off the spinning cliff. And I'm trying to understand that, but that's another one of those ununderstandables that I'm working on. Well, some of these days maybe we'll get it. Maybe we can get rid of those that. Even those dogs are questioning what about all this stuff. I don't think they understand it either. and and they say, well, we got Biden in there, so there's no more fake news. Well, I don't understand how they can say that, but they're saying it, and I'm trying to understand it. And CNN, they're just sitting there pulling us up in there and chewing up free enterprise and capitalism and spitting it out in the trash can. And I'm having trouble understanding why they're doing that. The mass media should be patriotic. They should be supporting this great country we have. And, they're looking about how do you tell up fake news. Well, just about any of this mass media and high tech that you hear is going to be fake, because they're not telling you the truth, in my opinion. And the fake news is versus the real news. And I think right now the fake news is winning out because it's got the people in power and they're destroying this country. And I'm trying to understand why they want to do that. And they look at their little computers. They got their head right up it, and they're saying, "Well, I don't know why you're blaming China for all this stuff." And then us that's looking at it, we got that Chinese dragon just blowing fire and trying to eat us up right there in their front yard, and they can't see it. They don't want to look at it, and I don't understand that. And I don't understand how they can be such hypocrites. They can paint a Hitler's mustache on Trump and it's all good. They can paint a mustache on Obama and you're a racist. Well, there's lots of things that I don't understand about this racism bit. I used to know what a racist was, but I don't guess I know anymore. And we fought a big battle here a few months back by trying to protect the freedom of speech on the internet, and we won that battle. We got rid of that net neutrality thing, but we still facing a lot of those issues there, and I don't understand why we're still having to do that. And I don't understand the understandable about how cities like Baltimore and Detroit and so in California, for example, it can be set and squashed by the left's economic policies and all the misery and corruption and crime they have, and still vote for them. I'm trying to understand that, and trying to understand how we can get our national debt so high that we can't even quote it. You know, we right now our national debt is greater than our gross national product, and the only other time that ever happened was in World War II. Now think about that. I'm trying to figure that out. But they say, well, we've solved the problem. We took away the spending limits, so now we can just spend all we want to. And so they try to explain all that stuff, and they just kind of give you a little bit of double talk, and then they say, well, we're going to circle back. Well, I'm circling back and trying to understand how you can give up freedom and how you can give up liberty. And but they just keep that taxes out there in front of everybody with promising them everything, and they're buying it, and I don't understand that. But they just keep on pushing. And we sit there and we watch the TV and we listen to the radio, and all of a sudden, we don't understand what's going on. And we were in the dark, like I am, trying to understand the ununderstandable. Well, we'll work through most of this stuff someday. And it seemed like a lot of it got started back uh, in 2008 when they declared war on the Constitution and almost made it illegal to teach the Constitution in the schools. And they're just questioning the Lady Liberty. We don't have Lady Liberty anymore. She ain't holding those scales. She's being squashed, and there's only one side that's got the liberty and the justice. The other side, like I'm on, we don't have the justice. It's just kind of bewildering, and I'm trying to understand it. And I'm trying to understand why we're looking in the sky and looking for somebody to save us there, and say, "Oh, it's Superman." Well, no, it's just another old bird. Well, I don't know how we can waste our time looking for something. We got to do it ourselves. We got to solve our problems ourselves. We can't look outside. There's no Superman out there to do it. And we got to stop the Congress from spending and kicking that debt can down the road, because we just overwhelmed. We may never recover from the debt we got already, and they're printing more money and they're causing more debt and more inflation. And we've got a lot of natural rights. We got a right to preserve life. We've got a right to liberty, and we got a right to own property. We've got a right to make a living. We have a right to have a family. We have a right to practice religion. But they're stomping on our rights, and we're not standing up about it. And we try to do it to vote, and I don't understand and how we come up with about something like 20,000 more voters in the last election than we had registered voters. Now I'm trying to understand that. And that's probably another one of those ununderstandable things for somebody like me. And food contributes nothing worth hearing, and he takes offense to everything. Well, I'm not calling the other side of food, but they're taking offense to everything, and I'm kind of thinking and wondering about that. Is that unthinkable? I don't know. Well, wrong does not cease to be wrong just because a majority shares it. Now, I'm questioning right now whether or not we have a majority sharing all that stuff. I'm looking at it. I'm trying not to, and I'm just looking at and trying to be something that understands all that stuff. And I appreciate you watching. And that's my thoughts for the day and thoughts while I'm thinking. And that's adios, amigos, and we'll see you on the flip side.